Hi guys, and welcome to day 8 of 30 Days Wild. So we didn't do one of these videos over the weekend for you because we wanted you guys to come up with your random acts of wildness yourself. So if you did anything that helped get you into nature, let us know. Comment it on our Facebook page just below this video. We'd love to see what you're getting up to. If you haven't guessed, today we are talking about the British barn owl, and debuting it is our beautiful barn owl here, Beau. Okay, as you have been watching on our Facebook page, Beau has grown into this beautiful, beautiful owl. She's still learning the reins. She's still learning how to sit on the glove and stuff. She's still very excited, so we're just teaching her that sitting on the glove is not the worst thing in the world. It's where the food comes from. So it's really important for her. So we're going to talk about British owls, mainly the barn owl. So there's 5 different species that are native to the UK. You've got the little owl, you've got the British barn owl, you've got the tawny owl, you've got the long-eared owl and the short-eared owl. Okay, so there's quite a few different species. But these guys are the most obvious because they are pure white pretty much. You've got this gorgeous white breast here, and then you've got the fabulous brown on the back. Okay, so these are, if you see one of these in the wild, you can't mistake it for another owl. It is the perfect bird to identify. Okay, so she is pretty incredible. Now, barn owls in the UK are insanely protected. I'm talking it's illegal to disturb them, their eggs, their nests. It's illegal to remove them from the wild unless you are a trained rehabilitator and you're helping it. And it's also illegal to release captive ones back into the wild. Okay, so they are protected under several schedules of the Wildlife and Countryside Act. So Beau here is a carnivore, and you'd think she'd be top of her food chain, okay? But unfortunately, larger animals that fly above her still predate on her, like the common buzzard, okay? So Beau has to always keep an eye out as well, looking up, and she's also got to look out for them pesky kestrels when she's hunting so they don't come and steal her food. But she's just beautiful. The most common thing these guys are known for, if she looks at the camera, is their love heart face, okay? She has this gorgeous love heart. Okay, we're a little bit peckish. So they are incredible. These guys, you would find them hunting along the edges of forest, not in them. Farmland is really good for them. These are like the kestrels. Their main diet consists of voles. About 60% of their diet is voles. So they need to have an area where there's lots of farmland, lots of grassland, just like this, where voles would thrive, so that these guys have lots of food source. Okay, she's learning how to hunt as well also now. She loves attacking everyone's shoelaces. It looks fun to her. They drag along the ground, so they move. So we are a hunter now as well. And these guys are known as silent hunters. So their feathers slot together perfectly, so no air can get between them. So when she flaps her wing and soars in the sky, no wind is getting between them, and she doesn't sound noisy like a pigeon does. So it's really hard for her food to hear her coming. So she really is an incredible animal. Unfortunately, in 1998 there was only 7 known breeding pairs that were surveyed in the UK. From the Mid-Cheshire Barn Owl Group. I go out with the Mid-Cheshire Barn Owl Group now, and under licence we are allowed to survey nests and make sure these guys are doing okay, checking how many young they have, and then we put identification rings on their leg as well. Now, all birds that are kept in captivity should have an identification ring on their leg, because that ring tells you who you are. Okay, if your bird escaped, then it tells you where they're from, has all your contact details so you can get your bird back if it's found. We're doing the same in the wild, but we're doing it so that we can track populations, we can see migration patterns. So say if we had a barn owl box or something up here and we ringed one of their chicks and then we saw it over in Winsford or something, we would know that originated here, so we know its flight path, we'd know how far it was travelling. So it's really good data for us each year when we survey them. And if sometimes we even find some barn owls that don't have identification rings on, and that just means that they found a natural nest instead of one of our nest boxes. So it's really good. The Mid Cheshire Barn Owl group is a really, really good group. I love going out and surveying and seeing these guys in the wild, but we cannot do it if we didn't have the license to do so, which is the most important part. Our license is issued with the BTO, so that's the British Trust of Ornithology. They track all the birds. They're the ones that also take part in the big garden bird watch and stuff like that. So yeah, really important. These guys can have 5 to 7 eggs in a clutch, and they breed and lay their eggs around April time, and then you will see the young coming out around May, June time, depending on how late the clutch is. You'd see mum and dad flying around as well when the clutch is starting to fledge. So it's really important. These guys just honestly are so beautiful. Now there's lots of things that you guys can do to help our beautiful barn owl, okay? You can join your volunteer group. So ours is the Mid Cheshire Barn Owl group. We operate out of Knutsford, and we go out every year and we survey these guys. And then in the winter we go and clean out all the boxes, make sure they're nice and clean, fix any little hiccups or anything. If a hatch has come loose or anything, we fix all that so they're nice and safe. The only downfall to our barn owl boxes is squirrels do like to get in there. So if squirrels have made a hole in the back of it, we also have to replace that. But going out with them and checking that these guys are okay, so that's one thing you could do. You could volunteer and help your British natives, or you could purchase a barn owl box and have it put in your local area. So there's lots of barn owl boxes around this area that we go around and check. I'm pretty sure in the Mid Cheshire and South Cheshire we have over 1,000 boxes that we check every year. So having volunteers to help us come out and check them is really important. Now unfortunately there is quite a few threats for these guys. We did say predation. Unfortunately they're most likely to get hit by a car out of all the owls, because they swoop so low, they sit on garden fences and fly so low, so that unfortunately they do get clipped by cars at night time. They are nocturnal. No, come back up. They are nocturnal, so they would mostly be out at night time. Secondary poisoning, believe it or not, this works in 2 ways. So it's the same with Kevin the Kestrel. If you guys are putting rat poison and stuff down and the voles are eating it, then that's one way that Beau here can get poisoned. And another way is on farmland. If they're using pesticide on their grasses and stuff like that, unfortunately that is also the mice eat that, and then if she eats too many voles and mice with that in her system, it builds up and it causes her eggshells to be very flimsy and very thin. So it'd stop her eggs being incubated properly, and therefore she wouldn't have much many young to take care of, which is a big issue. We want to make sure these guys are breeding okay in the wild. And the other big threat is weather, believe it or not. In 2009, we had a really hot spell of weather after chicks had hatched, and unfortunately because of that there was food shortage. There was less voles out because it was just too hot for them all, and unfortunately we did lose a couple of chicks that year due to hot weather. Excessive rainfall is also an issue because food isn't going to want to come out, which means these guys can't look for their food. And the last one is our winter months. So these guys are here all year round. They do not migrate. So in our winter months you would see them out more during the day because that's when they're more likely to try and find food, because it's not too cold for the food to come out for all them mice and voles. But if we get excessive snowfall, then unfortunately the voles aren't going to come out because there is no greenery for them to eat, which means Beau here isn't going to be able to find that food. So that is also an issue. Now she doesn't have young to take care of, but she has herself to take care of, which is just as important. These guys are monogamous animals, so once they mate for life. They will travel together and stuff like that as well, which is really important. The best time to see these guys is at dawn and dusk. That's when they'll come out and hunt for their food. It's not too hot or too cold for the mice and the vole to be out, and it's not too bright for her either. Or in the winter months, go out during the day and look at them farmland fields and see whether you can see one of these beautiful owls. Now, just to finish off the video, we have a fabulous footage from Richard Greenwood, and it's of his a wild barn owl flying from a fence that he caught on his wildlife cam. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed Beau's debut. Thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow for a different animal. Thank you. Bye.